Welcome to the second half of the Disney Spirits podcast, episode 6, Epcot Countries Ranked. We're continuing our discussion of the Epcot Pavilions, and in this half we'll be talking about our top 5 lands.
Yeah, this is our top 5 list. We're into top 5.
We're into the top 5.
Number 5 we got as Canada, and not just because I'm, Canadian American.
Right. That has nothing to do with that at all.
Nothing to do with the fact that I'm Canadian.
Yeah, the fact that Gary is Canadian American and that all our nationalities are going to be in the top 5 has nothing to do with that. At
it's
all.
Weird how it's shaked out like that. Yeah. Canada, located next to the United Kingdom Pavilion and the entrance. What do they call that entrance? The crossroad or something like that, right?
Gateway, I don't know.
Something like that.
Gateway, crossroads, crossroads of the world, gateway of the world.
Gateway of the world, crossroads.
Crossroads of the world,
Canada.
whatever. Right there.
Yeah.
If you're walking into World Showcase and you go to the right, you're going to hit Canada first.
Right. So exactly. The architecture here is awesome.
Spectacular.
I love the architecture. It's got a good mix of the old, a mix of the new. The shops, awesome. Is Roots still there as a shop? I believe maybe Roots is like Canada's Gap.
Yeah, no, it's not. Unfortunately,
it's not
because I used to like to get the Roots. Back in the day, I would get the Roots cologne all the time, and it was like the only place you could get it. Yeah, I just like that cologne, and not anymore. You really can't get it. You might be able to find the odd sweatshirt that says Roots, but
sweatshirt.
yeah. But Roots is like Canada's Gap, like you said.
Canada's Gap.
And the architecture, I don't know, what's it based on?
So because it's just funny because it says
Hotel du Canada or Chateau L'Oreal Hotel in Ottawa.
So
and I go
ahead. Are you going to say it? All right, because it's
I don't know. I was
like Chateau Frontenac.
Yeah, that's what we always
like
say.
The Chateau Frontenac. Yeah. So I'm not sure if this is right. I'm not sure if our notes are right.
Yeah, because my wife and I are always saying it looks like the Frontenac, in Quebec City. So I mean, maybe this hotel in Ottawa looks the same, but I'm sure that there are similarities.
I'm sure they look a lot alike.
Yeah. But
But just when you walk down the street, you walk there's a couple stairs that you have to go up. But when you walk down that street, I am transported to old Montreal or Quebec City, the whole area. It really is really, really, really well done.
Very well done.
And it has that little sneaky area that you can walk down towards where the canyon is.
Where
the waterfall is. It's great.
The waterfalls, it's spectacular. I mean, really, it's spectacular.
It's like I always feel like I found something. Like I've been there a whole bunch of times, but you always feel like, am I really supposed to be here? But it really feels like you found something cool.
It's one of those places that in Disney where you just want you don't even want to walk through it. You stop and you linger.
Exactly.
You stop and you linger and you look and sit there for a while because it's such a spectacular sight.
It is. It's so well done.
Very well done.
Yep. Let's see. You want to talk about entertainment, or did you have something more?
No, I was also going to say on the far right hand of the pavilion is a flower garden. That's pretty amazing too. That's I think it's based
Victoria
on
Gardens?
Yeah, it's called Victoria Gardens, and it's based on Butchart Gardens that are in British Columbia, and pretty amazing.
It's beautiful. Yeah,
really beautiful.
It's entrance to La Serrière, while you're walking down there. Yeah, it's really, really cool. So even if you're not going to the restaurant, walk down there, go past the restaurant, and then walk into the canyon. It's fantastic.
Walk down the pathway.
Really,
on
really
your right hand side will be the flower garden, and then you'll go into the canyon where the waterfalls are, and you'll come out on top where, like Gary's saying, it's like walking through old Quebec City or old Montreal. And it's really one of the pavilions. It's so well done. It transports you away from. You don't feel like you're in Epcot anymore. It's amazing.
There's good places for pictures too that poke your head through.
Totem.
thing.
Yep, that's
We
cool.
have a bunch of crazy pictures with that. Always fun for that. There's the totem. There's a totem there. Hidden Mickey up on top, I believe.
Yep.
There's a hidden
There
Mickey
is
and there's
there's
up
the
on
hidden
top.
Mickey for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So entertainment. This is why it's 5 instead of way up there. Like a
Yeah.
number 1.
Gary's. They took away Gary's faves.
My Off Kilter. Off Kilter.
Yep.
My favorite bands there.
Kilter.
Only partially because this is typically our last stop on the Round the World drinking tour. That's not the only reason I like Off Kilter so much.
Right. Well, that's not really it. Well, it's ironic, it's the last stop on a lot of Around the World, and I remember the first time I went around the world, I got La Fin du Monde from Unival, and I looked at it and I'm like, La Fin du Monde. Oh yeah, this means the end of the world. I'm like, this is so funny.
Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, so great beers in Canada.
That's great.
Well, Moosehead. I don't know. Moosehead's. I used to drink a lot of Moosehead when I was younger, but
it's a good lager.
It's okay. It's
a fine representation of a simple lager, But if you're missing like La Fin du Monde, you're missing out.
There's a choice between La Fin du Monde and Moosehead. I'm gonna pick La Fin du Monde every single time. But it's another one. If you're starting your around the world from there, do not start with La Fin du Monde. I mean, maybe don't even finish it with La Fin du Monde because
I did.
I did too. I just told you I did. Yeah, that was my first time. I said, "Holy cow!" And then we went to eat in Mexico, and I think I had my head on the table because, it's like 9%. 9%. Yeah.
Yeah, less so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. 8 or 9%. Yeah. Yeah, I just sat there. I ordered food because I thought it was a great idea, and then when it all came, I'm like, oh my gosh! I'm not only am I so packed, I'm also like, I'm done.
It's exactly what happened to me. I ordered the Plato Mexicano or whatever at the restaurant in Mexico, which we'll get to later.
That's
and I love that. I love the food there, and they brought it. They put it down in front of me. I took like a bite, and that was it. And it was like, I just can't eat this right now. I just can't.
Yeah, I got you beat on that because at Le Cellier, I ordered the fillet and lobster.
Oh yeah, what, like $60? Yeah.
I took it home. I did.
Oh yeah.
One of the rare times I had to take it home. I had it in an omelet the next day.
Yes, there you go.
That was our breakfast.
There you go. There you go.
So, one of the attraction at Canada is Canada. Yeah. Is it just Canada now though, right?
It's called Canada Far and Wide, I believe.
Canada Far and Wide.
Canada Far and Wide. Yeah, and it went from Canada. And I think that Canada got a little tired of the 1979 film. It came out. Epcot opened in '82, but of course they didn't film everything in 1982. So yeah, it was a little outdated. I happen to love it.
Canada, fantastic.
The original Canada. I thought it was awesome. But I think they thought that there were some stereotypes about Canada being cold and the Great White North, which nothing wrong with it. Own it. Come on, own it, Canada. It's awesome.
Off, you hoser.
Right, exactly. Anyway, it was replaced. They redid it. Updated version with Martin Short. Canada 2007. Everybody liked it. I thought it a little more humorous, a little less more travelogue, less travelogue, more humorous.
Yeah, more humor.
More humor. And then the Canada Far and Wide, which debuted this year. I think this year, yeah. And I did get a chance to see it, and it's I think it's funny because it's narrated by Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara from SCTV and
no comedy.
No comedy.
Is it?
No, it's they really go straight on it, and it's more of a travelogue again, back to that style again, but updated. I kind of miss the original. Just for just for nostalgia's sake.
I like the. I always like it. I don't really remember the 1979 version. I'm sure I had seen it at one point or another, but I definitely like the 2007 Martin
Oh
Short.
yeah, the Martin
Like
Short. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
It
was
was a
good.
good. It was good. It really.
Yeah,
I was kind of surprised they were going to do it over because it was. I think people liked it, and I don't know why, but I can't. I'm certainly
yeah.
not going to
Time to update.
I'm not going to flame Disney for updating things. That's for sure. So
Right.
yeah.
So it has a cool waiting area too, right underneath the falls there. That was
Yes.
kind of a cool
Yeah,
place to
it's
wait.
very cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool
Yeah.
place to wait. And if
That's
you've
where
never
they.
seen the film, definitely check it out. Definitely check
I
it
think
out.
that's where they had the
And
KitKat stuff too. So
they
it
did.
kind of
They
forced you to
did.
go all the way to the back, but it was like a really big area for
Yeah,
KitKat, like to
it
really.
was.
Um, yeah.
KitKat
So go ahead.
when I was going to say KitKat was a great idea when they had it to get
Yeah.
kids engaged in Epcot in the different countries. But
Yeah.
do they still have it?
Kids
I don't
loved it.
think they do anymore. No. Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
I'm
know.
not sure. Anyway, Les Cellier, you
Awesome.
mentioned.
Yep.
Fantastic.
I
Yeah.
absolutely love the Le Cellier. Now, this Le Cellier is one of those ones that like it was top notch. Absolutely, everyone was clamoring to get into it. It was always booked up, and then it fell on hard times a little. It seemed
Wait, I
like
was
a lot
going to
of
say
people.
Les Cellier was in the late 90s, early 2000s. It would be right in there with Marrakesh
Yeah,
as probably your easiest get if you walked into World Showcase and you're like, hey, we want to eat. We need a reservation though, and we can't. This was where you were going to be able to eat, and then they changed it. I guess it kind of like wasn't it a buffet
a
almost?
buffet.
It
Yeah,
was like
it
a
was kind of
buffet,
like a buffet. Yep. So then
and,
they changed
and
it to a steakhouse.
they changed it to a steakhouse, and
And this
and
thing shot through the
the
roof.
it
It was.
really, I mean, then it became almost impossible. It was like um, one of those restaurants where you would have to 6 months in advance.
Yep.
When it was your time was coming up, you would have to be there, at midnight to get Le Cellier.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was it was awesome.
yeah, yeah,
Fantastic. I've heard, like I was saying, I heard some things that wasn't. There was a short time, relatively recently, that it wasn't as good. But I think Disney, caught that note and was like, "Oh, we better apply
yeah.
ourselves again here."
Well, I,
Um,
I think it's a little easier to get now, but I think part of that is because they hopped it up from 1 dining credit to 2 dining credits for the people that are on the dining plan.
yeah,
So you kind of have to think long and hard about, using 2 dining credits.
you
Um,
are not going to save money. That is for
no,
sure.
you
Everything is very
yeah,
expensive. Very expensive.
it's in
Yeah.
fact, it's probably the most expensive restaurant. Certainly is the most expensive restaurant at Epcot and in all of World Showcase too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that I think you're right, and I think it's more expensive than France.
It is. Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
is. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Hmm. So the restaurant is really cool too. It was originally cafeteria style dining hall, like you were saying. It was like cafeteria style,
Right,
but they changed it into like a cellar underneath the chateau.
right.
So
Yeah,
it's like a
yeah.
wine cellar, and when you walk
Right.
in, I think it's either right behind the hostess desk. They made it look like a wine cellar that goes really deep
Yep.
into like a
Like in
natural area.
way
Yeah,
way back. Yeah, like a
yeah, it
cave.
looks really
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
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 Um, yeah, so that's really cool. Simulated stone arches and stuff.
Yep.
It's kind of dark in there. It's really a good place to have a really good dinner. But like we were saying, it's very good dinner again, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
It is
Bring your
expensive.
wallet. you're
It,
you're gonna need it. And yeah, and it like the atmosphere is perfect for a steakhouse. It really
oh,
is. It's kind
without
of
a
the
doubt,
perfect
yeah.
steakhouse. It's not really a very modern atmosphere, but it is a very like rustic. Um, it fits Canada.
Yeah,
It's
it
less
fits.
cellar. It's like a cellar. And
Yeah, it's a cellar.
that's what
Yeah,
it's themed at.
it's
Yeah.
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 Good selection of wines, Canadian wines. Who knew?
Yeah.
And
Right.
beers. That's
Yeah.
what I typically get.
Yep.
I think they have all the Unibrew
Yeah.
beers available,
I
so
think
that's
they
good.
have quite a yeah, and Canada they have some ice wines for dessert,
Yep.
which Canada has some great ones. Yeah,
Yeah, all around good.
yep, yep.
Characters. Now they have Brother Bear characters.
Phil Collins.
Yeah, Phil Collins. That's right.
Yeah.
Where's Jen? And Pocahontas, Miko and Percy, the animals.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen them. I've been there a ton of times. I don't think I ever see them. It could be that they're gone
so
by the
either.
time I roll up to
Yeah.
Canada. Like it's kind of later in the evening, and typically we start on the Mexico side for no
Almost
other
always
reason.
I don't know. I go there first too. I'm with you. Why is that? No idea.
Who knows?
Maybe we'll figure it out shortly.
Yep. As we move on to number 4.
As we move on,
Do we have anything
right?
else about number 5 there? Do we have anything else about Canada?
No,
I think we hit it pretty good.
I think we covered it from attractions to drinks and food. So
I think
that's
it's
our number 5.
If you kind of don't go into the back of it, so make sure you walk down into the back of Canada. It's fantastic. Really, really well done. Yep.
You're going to find that that's a common thread with our top ones, that you kind of have to explore these pavilions, drink and eat your way around them.
This one, our number 4, is one of the ones you definitely have to explore because it's all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
Our number 4
both sides.
is the United Kingdom. Yeah, both
UK.
sides. UK, located between French and Canadian pavilions. This is again. We keep saying the same thing. I hate to keep saying it over, but it's super well done.
Very well done. Yep.
I'm jumping ahead to the pub. The Rose and Crown is one of my favorite places at Epcot.
Awesome.
The Rose and Crown, not only the food, the UK not generally known for its cuisine. Hey, let's run off to.
But you know what? I think it's kind of underrated because I enjoy a lot of bangers and mash and shepherd's pie. I like it, So
Scotch eggs for appetizers.
Scotch eggs. I mean, come on! If you never had Scotch eggs, go get one. They're delicious.
Yeah, delicious. Yep. But the Rose and Crown, absolutely fantastic place to have a drink, or 3 or 4, or couple.
Yep.
However many you want to have.
The only problem with the Rose and Crown is that it's again another one of those. First of all, it's in such a prominent place. It's everybody knows it. There's no secrets about going to the Rose and Crown, so you're going to be there with a lot of your friends.
Yeah,
it's a
There's
pub
no social
and it's like a pub. No, not there.
Fantastic beers: Harp, Guinness, Bass. Trying to think of a couple more, but I always get like a half and half or a black and tan. So, really good choices all around. I haven't had many cocktails there though, although I know they have a great selection of gins.
They do, yeah.
I'm trying to think. One of my favorites, and you have to listen to one of our older podcasts. One of my favorites, the Hat Lady.
Yes,
Flair. She's there. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely, if she is there, stop in, drop a tip in the jar, because she is fantastic, super entertaining. A great time all around. Have a pint, hang out with the Hat Lady. Great place to have a snack, have a drink. Like Joe says, a little packed out, but if you totally luck out and get to sit at the bar, it's really worth taking a little time. I see it as one of the attractions.
If you find a seat, you can linger there for a while because it's a great spot to sit and have a beer or a cocktail. And it's one of those places in Epcot that has we're talking about beers, but they do have like a full bar, good selection of gins. They have everything, it's you want any cocktail you want, you get it there. So.
Yep.
And,
so across the street of United Kingdom Pavilion, it looks like a stereotypical British village. Great bathrooms there, by the way.
by the phone booth.
Yep. And the phone booth, great picture taking. But in the English Gardens, hedge maze, and the bandstand.
Well, bandstand. Fantastic. Where the British Revolution. They, hopefully they're going to be playing there again. And before that, it was the British invasion,
which I love, by the way.
So I love the British. the British Invasion started out. I think they would play one Beatles song and then one song from somebody else. Then they started playing only Beatles songs, and they were
Yep.
great. They were
They were
great.
awesome.
And then they brought the British Revolution in, and then they started playing all different English bands: Queen, Led Zeppelin,
Big
the
Hail
Beatles, the
Big
Who.
Hail- Big Hail
Yeah,
Zeppelin.
the
I love
Kinks.
it.
Yeah, it was great. And they were I one of my favorite things to do in Epcot was to go get a beer at the Rose and Crown and walk across the street and watch the British Revolution or the British Invasion or whichever band was playing there at the time, and just it was just great. And
So when you're talking about getting a beer at the Rose and Crown, are you talking about the little kiosk outside? Because that's what I want to talk about next.
okay, normally I would actually go into the bar because I would want if I got I think you get a half and half at the kiosk, right? Can you get one there? They have Hartman Guinness. They might not have Guinness there.
They might. I'm not 100% sure, but the reason I wanted to bring the kiosk outside, bring up the kiosk outside, is the yard glasses that they used to have. Remember that?
Awesome.
I don't know what they were thinking on that one, but
yeah.
And then go across the street.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A yard of bass.
A half a yard of bass, and walk across the street, and you're good for a while. Yeah, you're good for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they also have the fish and chips. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention the fish and chips, which is always crowded. I don't go to the fish and chips. Everybody knows. It doesn't taste like I know. Try it. It doesn't taste like fish, right?
I absolutely love the fish and chips, and if you get the fish and chips, you have to get the malt vinegar because the malt vinegar is so good on the fish and chips.
Yeah. Yep.
Joe, you can have the fries, the chips.
I'll have the chips. I'm good with that. Yep. And then one thing, they lose some points because the World Showcase players are not there anymore. They were a little troupe that would have
hysterical.
Recruit members from the audience and have these hysterical reenactments, unhistorically accurate.
Romeo and Edna,
right there in the middle of the pavilion, and they're not there anymore. That was always fun when they were around. I never actually was in the play, but watching it was a lot of fun. And also the shops.
The shops are
the shop. A lot of great merchandise. There's actually, I've got a Tervis tumbler from the Rose and Crown pub. There's hats and shirts from the Rose and Crown pub. There's soccer jerseys from the big teams. Jerseys. Yeah, Premier League teams: Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City. All the big teams, Tottenham. They're all there. If you want to get a soccer jersey, Beatles merchandise. Other British bands merchandise. Really cool.
The Historical Research Center. Where you can look up your last name.
Okay.
I don't look up my last name, but that's there. It's part of that shop, actually. Yeah.
I don't think my last name is going to be in the Historical Research Center. No. I think I have less chance than you do.
Yeah, I think you're right. So a big update coming soon to this pavilion from where it is. I don't know if it's on hold. Is it on hold?
I don't know. I mean, I know it got kind of scaled down from what it was supposed to be, and I mean,
big mistake.
Big mistake, because as it sits right now, I really enjoy the pavilion, and if you're going to take away the bandstand or any of the stuff that's back there, you better put something really good in there, because
So one of the cool things about that, by the way, because it's going to be, I don't think we ever said what it was going to be, but it's going to be the Mary Poppins attraction, which it's said to be modeled after the closing local fair scene, so Mary Poppins Returns. Right. And that brings me to the characters that you can see. The Mary Poppins character that is at the UK is one of the coolest characters that I've ever seen. Almost embarrassingly large amount of time with my daughter. She typically stands outside of one of the cottages that's kind of across from the fish and chips place, right. One of the old English cottages, and
always a line, always has a big line. Always a big line. Great
It's either,
costume. She looks
oh,
just like Mary Poppins. I mean,
yep.
really cool.
She either comes out with the fancy Mary Poppins when she's riding the merry-go-round, or the
Yep.
regular Mary Poppins
Right.
outfit. But when she's the fancy Mary, it is the
Yeah.
outfit is fantastic. It's like they
The
pulled
big,
it right off the screen.
yeah, the big white hat and
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I got some great pictures of that. Alice from Alice in Wonderland.
Yep.
There occasionally. I've seen Winnie the Pooh there,
I have
though
too. Yeah.
to me less than I've seen Mary Poppins. I think people expect Mary Poppins or Alice, from Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. Mary Poppins is there the most. Alice is there quite a bit. And then, Winnie the Pooh, I've seen before. I don't know if he's still making appearances there, but yeah. But
So this is one of the, I think, I don't know, I don't have the exact numbers, but I think it's one of the bigger, it's kind of a sprawling pavilion.
well,
I think it's one of the bigger pavilions.
Well, yeah, it spreads. It's on both sides of the pathway. So your Rose and Crown pub and all the area outside dining area behind it is all on the left hand side of the pathway. If you're walking from Canada, it's on the left, and on the right hand side is all the shops and the garden, the rose garden, and the hedge maze, and the bandstand and all the shops, and the tea shop. We didn't touch on the tea shop.
Oh yeah, the tea shop.
Yeah, I don't ever really go in there, but if you like tea, they have all sorts of teas. But it's a really cool pavilion, and there's a lot to see, and that's why it's high on our list.
Yep, a lot of good food, a lot of good drinks. I mentioned that there's a lot of good drinks, a lot of chances of drinking. Yeah.
Rose and Crown pub. Yeah.
Rose and Crown pub, one of my favorite places. Yeah, love it. The Hat Lady, great entertainment.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yep. So we're rolling up. We're rolling up to the top 3.
We're up to number 3.
Number 3, Germany. Located between Chinese and Italian pavilions, Germany. Yep. Why is it number 3? Joe?
Because I'm 1/4 German. That's why. No,
I don't understand this list.
because of the beer, of course.
Yeah, it's awesome. There is a lot of beer, a lot of really, really good beer. There's 2 kiosks, right? There's 2 kiosks, one on the right, and then the other one on the right that sells pretzels and stuff. One on the left that sells Jägermeister and Baron Jaeger and stuff like that, and also good beer. Typically has the longer line also because I think it has the rarer beers because it had that Oscar Schuss or whatever that one was, that Oktoberfest, which was awesome. Sorry for butchering the name.
Well, but I will say I think it probably has the longer line mostly because it's on the other side of the pathway, and it's certainly much more visible than the other one. It's right there. You can't miss it as you're walking by, and they have those humongous pretzels in the little pretzel heater thing, and
they're big.
You're in a pretzel in Germany. Oh no, they're big. They're big. I think they're like $10 now, but it's like a meal.
Are they like $10?
I think they're like $10 now. Yeah, I think they are. Yeah.
That was one of the places my dad always had to stop. Beer to pretzel, no matter what. Could be 8 a.m. Well, I guess it could be 11 a.m. Beer to pretzel.
Beer and a pretzel. There was a time when World Showcase opened at 9 a.m., but it was a while ago. It was a long time ago. But
so the setting of Germany, awesome. Yes. Like it really, again, we say it again, that like very, very well done.
Yep.
Though one of the reasons we brought it down to number 3 is of all the misses, the possibilities here that just never came to fruition. Such a bummer.
Yeah. Germany is one of those places where, there was a planned attraction and the attraction was never built. In fact, the entranceway, the entrance to the attraction is there, and it's where there's a little quick service dining spot there, and that's where the entrance and queue for the attraction was supposed to be. It was supposed to be the Rhine River cruise.
Yeah.
And I think they actually did they build the building? The building
It's partially there, I believe.
I think it's partially
it's right
built
now. It's
back
storage,
there.
isn't it?
Yeah. I think they did build it. Where but they never actually built the attraction because Epcot, when it was built, was so far over budget that they just scrapped a lot of the attractions. I think I don't know if have you ever seen, Gary, the opening TV special with Danny Kaye as the host?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's fantastic, right? Singing songs about Epcot.
I'll have to put some of this when I edit this.
Yeah. You got to put it up when he sings his song about Epcot. What's in Epcot? I love that. Anyway, there's one segment where he goes in depth talking to Alex Haley who wrote Roots, about the Africa Pavilion that was going to be where the refreshment outpost is now. Big miss. In fact, I think a lot of the films for that attraction were filmed and scripted, and that attraction was almost ready to go, but Epcot was so far over budget, and I think at the time there was a lot of political unrest in Africa, and they couldn't find a nation that people would politically, South Africa was the only nation that had a lot of money to spend to sponsor the pavilion, and South Africa
problems there.
Not a good spot. You don't want to take their money at the time, certainly not. So with apartheid going on, so that never got built. But Germany was another place. The Rhine River cruise with little miniature Cologne Cathedral and all different German attractions. It was a big miss. It would have been a great addition to World Showcase. So
another one was the Matterhorn bobsleds. That was supposed to go in there, but that didn't happen. What a bummer.
Even though I don't think they could call it the Matterhorn, because it's in Switzerland.
Switzerland, but yeah, it was supposed to be there. I don't know. Bobsleds.
They would have called it something else. Yeah. That would have been awesome. Another great ride. So we're talking about all these different rides that would have been there. They have the trains there now, which of course is maybe not going to be there for very long, because that's where the Brazilian pavilion is rumored to be going, if that ever happens. I mean, who knows what's going to happen and what's not going to happen now with the way things have gone in 2020. But
the Romantic Road Miniature Train Village. That's the actual name.
Is that the real name?
The Romantic Road Miniature Train Village, originally created for the Flower and Garden Festival. But it was so popular, it was drawing crowds, so they left it.
Oh yeah, everybody loved it. I mean, and they still do. Kids love it.
Yeah, I spent time
it draws a big crowd, and I mean, it's kind of cool. You walk around, and it's a huge train set. So,
I think it's really cool. We're Joe, was it you that was with me when the person drunkenly stumbled around the train set? Was that you, or was that my other friend?
No, it wasn't me, but I do have a story about someone walking into the train set too.
Was that the guy who was like having heat stroke or something?
It was. Of course, it was I think it was morning, and of course my friend Scott and Fred and I were there. Fred didn't have a beer, but Scott and I each had a beer. I'm sure it was morning. Hey, it was 5:00 somewhere, right?
Right.
So we're sitting on a bench across from the train set, and this guy, he hops into the train set, and he puts his hand down, and his arm is shaking, and I'm like, we're saying, is he getting electrocuted by the train set? Because that's what it looked like. But I think he just, people don't hydrate in Florida. Here I'm drinking a beer in the morning, right? So I'm talking about people but people don't realize how hot it gets here in the summertime, and don't hydrate enough, and it's really easy to get dehydrated and get kind of heat stroke here. So but I'll tell you what, we hopped up from our bench to go help the guy. and we didn't get halfway across the pathway before there was Disney cast members and medical Disney medical people there. It was really like that. They were there. It was amazing. So
Yeah, I have a story that's kind of like that also, but it was somebody fell off of a a wheelchair.
Wow.
That's not funny on its own. But
Yeah, no.
this woman was swearing a streak of swears before this happened, and the person who was pushing her was also just as, unfortunately, 4 sheets to the wind, and she put her feet down and he just kept going, so she sort of fell out of it, and I was probably 10 feet, maybe 15 feet. I saw it happening. I saw her like starting to tumble. I started to make a move, and I was almost sort of pushed out of the way by Disney, suit, suit Disney personnel, 2 other personnel, and a medical person.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah. So
either they were watching something happening, or because I legitimately turned, started to make a move towards these people, and I was sort of like, not pushed aside, like get out of the way. More like,
I know.
I'm getting there first.
Right,
and it was a captain.
Yeah.
Where
It's
did
crazy.
you guys come from? Like,
Yeah,
the manhole opens up and people come out, and then it closes.
Right.
Like, what?
It's
how is
like,
that?
no, they're there so fast. Yeah. I mean, it's comforting. It's good to know that, if something happens, they're there right away. So, yeah. Anyway, so anything else about Germany? We touch on the food, beer garden. Ah, yes.
The beer garden, man. We're just it's late. It's late. It's getting late. That's why we're
It is,
a couple
it
drinks
is.
and it's getting late. But the beer garden, this is one of those ones that's a lot of people love it. A lot of people don't love it.
Right.
Partially because it's German food, and some people just don't enjoy German food. Partially because it's a buffet. Some people don't generally like buffet. But the big part that people don't like is their Oktoberfest type tables.
Right.
You sit with strangers.
Right.
And a lot of people are uncomfortable with the sitting with strangers part.
Right.
I am super extrovert, so it doesn't bother me at all. But my wife, who is not a super extrovert, does not have all that interest to sit next to some people that you don't know.
Right.
To offset that, though, they will give you a full liter of Spaten beer.
Yeah, right, exactly. Which will turn you immediately into
you're an extrovert.
An extrovert. You will become an extrovert right away.
You are now an extrovert.
Here's the thing. I kind of agree with Jen, because I certainly will sit down on a park bench or a bench at the park and talk to people, or talk to people in line, and I do it all the time. But eating is something that it's like, okay, now we're going to sit down and we're going to eat. And you're eating with other people that you don't know, and it's kind of a little strange at first. And some people it's no big deal, because they're right away they'll start talking to you, you start talking to them. But occasionally you'll sit with somebody who doesn't want to do that, and they don't even want you to be there, and it makes for a real uncomfortable meal. And it's like, all right, I wish I could just sit at my own table and enjoy, because I do enjoy the food, and I like the fact that
the
it's
food
a
is
buffet.
great.
I like the
really,
fact that
really
buffet.
good.
I always like, if you like bratwurst and sausages and stuff like that, you're gonna like this food. It's your typical German fare, and eat as much as you want. And there's a lot of desserts to choose from. There's not, it's not like you're gonna get just strudel or something. There's quite a few different desserts to choose from. Black Forest cake, I think, and
all the typical, right?
Yeah,
but I'm focused back on that beer, full liter of Spaten.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Really good beer.
Which alone elevated Germany to 3.
That's right. That's right. The entertainment at the it's after the entertainment is like a Oktoberfest beer garden entertainment, and it's based on tapping the keg for Oktoberfest. They pick someone out of the crowd. Generally doesn't take too long, but it's fun. They don't make them like an idiot or anything, like pick
No,
on
no,
them.
no.
But it's always like it's fun, and you get to tap the keg. And I have been the Burgermeister. I have the little scroll. They give
Yeah,
you a
yeah.
scroll to leave. Yeah, I wanted the sash. You get a Burgermeister sash, but they wouldn't let me keep the sash.
But
um,
it's very cool, and
it's really good. It's a
yeah,
Oompa band,
the
bell
Oompa band is awesome.
thing.
And if you haven't stepped inside, the actual setting of the restaurant is probably one of the very coolest in Epcot. I won't say it's the coolest because the coolest one's coming up.
Coming up.
But but it's one of the coolest settings in Epcot. It's like a tiered beer garden, like almost like an amphitheater that leads down to a stage. So you've got tables and then another tier and then more tables and then another tier and then you got your stage. So it's a very cool setting. It seems like it does have an outdoor feel to it, like an Oktoberfest
that's what I was
outdoor
gonna
feel.
say.
It's really cool.
I like places that you walk inside to be outside.
It's
You know what I
really
mean?
I
It makes me
love
feel
that.
like you're
Again, we're
outside.
going to
I
talk
like
about
that.
that again coming up too, right?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
we
I
are.
love that too. Yeah, like Blue Bayou over in Disneyland is another cool place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
So the German pavilion itself on the outside, like you were talking about the inside, but the beer garden inside, but the outside of the German pavilion is really good. Made the Platz, the
Oh,
square
oh yeah,
of
right.
of
Absolutely.
Germantown. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Statue of St. George
St. George and the Dragon. Yep, yep,
yeah.
yep.
The big, I called it a glockenspiel. I hope it is. A big cuckoo clock.
Sounds good to
Like,
me. I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, it's really, really cool setting. Like
Yeah.
you're transported. It's really surrounded by cool German style buildings. The shopping is really good. A lot of shops, though. I can say that I've never gone to an amusement park to buy a cuckoo clock. There's a
No.
shop that sells
No,
cuckoo clocks. All
Not
right.
typical, but that's one of the cool things about Epcot is that they have, unique merchandise. I don't know. I don't. Do we talk about the department? We didn't talk about the department store at length in Japan, but yeah, the department store in
Just
Japan is really cool with all the unique Japanese merchandise. And you're gonna find things in Epcot that you won't find anywhere else in the well, maybe not in the United States, but you're not gonna find in your hometown probably, or without looking really hard.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Without a doubt.
isn't there a candy store in Germany too? Is there a candy store or
Chocolate
a
store, isn't there?
yeah, chocolate store? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I have that on my notes, but yeah, there's definitely a chocolate store from
Yeah.
what I remember.
Yeah. Yep.
There's dolls. I know that.
There is dolls. That's right
dolls.
too. There is. Yep.
Let's see. No, I don't see any chocolate, but I know there's a chocolate. I'm pretty sure there's a chocolate store. Oh well. Moving on.
Moving on.
Moving right along. Number two.
Number
Are we
2.
done with Germany? We sort of skipped over. Did we skip over anything? I don't want to miss anything in Germany. I feel like we hit it pretty good.
I think we hit it pretty good. Beer, beer, and
Great food and great place
beer.
for snacks.
Yep.
Get the $10 pretzel.
Yeah, get the $10 pretzel because it's like a meal. I mean, it's huge. You could share with 2 other friends and each pay $3.33.
There you go. Good to have a plan. So,
well, somebody's got to toss in an extra penny, so somebody paid $3.34.
Moving on to number 2.
Number 2,
located between the German Pavilion and the American Adventure. It's Italy.
Italia.
It's Italia. What? Why is this number 2? I think Canada should be number 2, Joe.
I think it's placed correctly. I think this is yeah, absolutely. I mean, food.
So yeah, manja. Beers, Peroni and what's the other one? Starts with an M.
Moretti.
Yep, Moretti and
Moretti.
Peroni there.
The secret beer in Italy is Moretti La Rosa. That is the beer to get. Yeah,
yep.
Without a doubt.
La Rosa.
Like a malty, dark beer. Moretti is one of the big Italian brands, and it's just really great. And yeah, it's also, I think it's like 7.7%
Yeah, it's up
alcohol.
there.
So it's up there. It's up there.
It's up there. Italy, one of the big things about Italy that I found during the notes too is this is the only area that I walked during the marathon.
Okay.
All right, so maybe that's not one of the popular parts, but this is where I had to walk.
Is there a plaque? Is there a plaque there? There could be a plaque there about that.
With my sneaker all burned out.
That's it. Right. Your statue is there, just like Greta Vates is in Norway. Two famous marathoners in Epcot.
Let's see, Italian Pavilion.
Architecture.
Beautiful plaza. Great place to hang around. Collection of buildings with Venetian, Florentine, Roman architecture.
Got the Doge's Palace and the St. Mark's Campanile, the Bell Tower, which incidentally is where they used to hold executions in Venice. But Disney's not going to tell you that.
The Neptune fountain in the back is great spot.
Yeah,
make sure you walk back.
Yeah, like the Trevi fountain back there. It's a lot smaller than the real Trevi fountain. I will tell you that. But it is a very cool fountain. Yeah, and you have to. This is another one of those countries where you have to walk back. You got to walk back.
Back. Well, the restaurant's all the way in the back, right?
Right, it's all the way back.
Yep. So make sure you walk all the way back, see everything, and also there's a bar on the left as you're headed all the way back.
Yeah, Tutto Italia, or Tutto Gusto is the bar, I think, and Tutto Italia is the restaurant.
Great place for a Negroni, FYI.
Tutto Gusto is a great place for a Negroni. I have had an amazing martini there. I don't even know. I'm so mad at myself that I didn't ask, what was the vermouth. I think I told them the ratio, and I think they used Beefeater as the gin, which I like Beefeater, but for some reason it was just so good. And so I love my wife and I love to go to that little.
That is a great bar.
It's a wine. It's kind of a wine bar, but there's more than snacks. You could actually have a meal there for sure. And
I think it actually says wine bar, right?
Yeah.
But you walk in, it's basically a full bar.
It is. It's a full bar. There's a bar right in front of you, and if you want, you can get a cocktail and take it to go walk around. Just tell them that just like over at the Rose and Crown, just tell them you want it to go, and they'll let you take it out and put it in a plastic cup for you, or you can sit there and drink it right there. And I'll never forget one time we went there. They brought some olives, and I think they were. Later on, I think I found out these were the Castel Vetrano olives from, I think, Sicily. I mean, they were just so good. I mean, and I don't generally like olives with the pits in them, but I mean, we just ate this whole bowl of olives. And I'm like, these olives were they tasted like you don't. It's not like olives out of a jar. These were olives that tasted fresh. I mean, it was just, they were so good. So the food, yeah. And I know we talked about Alfredo's de Rome. Gary didn't care for it very much. I thought it was good. I would always get fettuccine Alfredo, so that was their specialty. So I liked it.
You kind of have to at Alfredo's.
Right, yeah. And but the restaurant now is called Tutto Italia, and it has very good food. So and then of course in the back is the restaurant I always like to go to, and I think you do too.
Yeah,
Via Napoli.
Via Napoli is very good. Yeah.
Yeah. And the restaurant is the architecture is great. They have the 3 pizza ovens, which I love,
which is
after
really
the
cool.
3 Italian volcanoes, which are what? Vesuvius, Etna, and Stromboli.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, very cool. And that the gods. It looks really, really cool.
Looks awesome.
The sculptures,
really look
the
cool.
face of the gods. It looks really, really cool. So let's talk about the pizza there. It's important to talk about the pizza.
Amazing.
It is fantastic.
All right,
It really
yeah.
is. If you don't get the pizza in Italy, you missed out on all of Epcot.
Best pizza on Disney property. And if you were to push
Yes.
me to the wall and say, what's the best pizza you had in Florida? I would say this is it. Yeah,
Yep.
without it.
It's so good.
It's really good. They used to import the water from Naples, Italy, in order to make the pizza. It's Neapolitan style pizza.
Yeah.
And where pizza was invented, by the way.
Hey,
the more you know.
Yeah, the more you know. Hey,
the more you know. Anyway, but now they import the water from Pennsylvania because, well, it's a lot easier to get it from Pennsylvania, but they're looking for the same pH balance and for the water to be as the water in Naples, Italy. They found it in Pennsylvania. And another note about the Napoli is the servers are fantastic there. I have
so knowledgeable about everything. You can ask any question, any
question,
any change. They suggest changes. They're great. Yep.
Yeah, and I always end up having a conversation about Italian soccer with them, or it's like it's great, and a lot of times a lot of my servers have been from Rome, a lot have been from Naples. And it's just a really fun place to eat. Really fun place to eat.
Yep.
And the food is delicious.
The food is delicious, and you can get something other than just pasta and sauce. That's key for me.
Right, exactly.
They have a good menu. It's an extensive menu. It's good. A lot of good stuff on the menu.
They do have a pizza window outside the restaurant, but if you can go in the restaurant, eat the pizza in the restaurant. It's well worth it. Really good pizza. And what else? There was a wine bar. There was a wine bar in Italy. Excellent place. They got great selection of wines. Right connected to the wine bar is a little merchandise shop with a lot of cool Disney Epcot themed Italian merchandise.
Are you talking about the wine bar right at the front of the Italy Pavilion, or are you talking about the wine bar in
the inside one? The inside one. Yeah, there's one right in the front too. I didn't even mention that one. Yeah,
I was going to mention that one because that's actually a pretty good one. Also,
it is. Yeah, no, they're both great. Yeah,
but relatively cheap if I remember correctly. But great place to get a good Chianti.
Yeah, very good. That's what I always get there too. Chianti.
Yeah, it's very good.
I like Chianti. I like dry wine. So yeah.
So when you're walking up to the Italy Pavilion, it's on the right as you walk in, and then it's attached to more shops also.
Right. Yeah. And then there's shops there, and then across the way by the bell tower is another couple shops where they sell like high-end Italian merchandise, Gucci and perfume and cologne and
very expensive.
Venetian glass is usually there. Like Ferrari jackets. They used to have Italian soccer jerseys. I don't know if they have them anymore. I don't think I saw them the last time I was there.
I would be surprised if they didn't. Like you said, that they're not there. They do shift the merchandise around, but I'd be surprised. I mean, that's pretty big, pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yep. So go ahead.
Next to the wine bar that I was talking about, they have that little Venetian mask, little place. Oh,
that's cool.
Do not try on those masks. You will get in trouble.
Hey, stupido. It's stupido or stunad, depending on which part of Italy you're from. Hey, stunad. Don't try on that.
Don't do that. Yeah. No. Just trying to help you out there. Pavilion, do not try on the masks.
Right.
The sign's not big enough. I'm just saying. Don't try those on.
Learn the hard way. This is the problem. After the wine, everybody after the wine want to try the mask.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yep.
All right. So moving on to the entertainment, or did you want to talk more?
We can talk about the entertainment. Yep. Let's do that. The
clowns.
The clown with the guy with the whistle. The clown with the whistle. Oh my God.
The whistle. Oh my God. Not one of my favorites. Funny. Good juggler.
Yep.
Really brings the crowd in. Always brings my daughter in. If
Right.
she's for some reason she always gets picked for this. Throwing the ball to her and all that stuff. The whistle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's constant.
Constant.
Anybody who listens to this who has either gone or will be going, you know exactly what I'm talking about at this point.
Yeah.
The whistle is constant. He uses the whistle instead of talking.
Yep.
It's constant whistle. That whistle.
Yeah. My wife and I will frequently go and we'll get a glass of wine and we'll sit in the Italian pavilion and kind of people watch and listen, because I love the music loop that plays there, so we'll sit and listen to the music. And if the whistle guy comes out, that's our cue to
time to
all
go.
right, well, a piece is over. Time to go. But he's funny, he's entertaining, he always draws a big crowd, but it's not going to be peaceful if he's there, because he will have a big crowd, and the whistle is constant.
It is constant.
And what did they have they had like a oh God, the last time we were there, a woman that was I guess it was for Christmas. No, it was a special Christmas thing. She was like I don't want to say like a witch, but something, I don't know. I don't remember when I was a kid.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Yeah. Kind of cool.
Yeah, so Joe, interesting note on the Italy Pavilion. The original plans for that pavilion, there was going to be an expansion during Epcot's Phase 2, and there was going to be a Roman ruins walkthrough at the very back of the Italy Pavilion, which would have been fantastic.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, they started build a big wall covering it. That's kind of what they left there.
I remember that. Yeah.
Did they paint some like grapes and stuff on it at one point? I think. Yeah.
I remember that, and that's where, of course, Via Napoli ended up being there. So worked out good. Out good. I mean, the Roman ruins walkthrough sounds cool, but Via Napoli is awesome as well. But I'm sure it's another casualty of Epcot being so far over budget when they first built it. So that just no Phase 2, just moving on. And I'm sure the Italians were like, hey, how much? What do you want? $10 million? We're not paying for this walkthrough.
Yeah, what do you
tell them to come over here and see the real Roman ruins?
Seriously. Yeah. So, I don't know. Let's see. What do we got? We got the shops. We did the shops. We did the architecture. We did the drinks. Also, we did drinks. We talked about drinks, which was important. Yep. We talked about the drinks. We talked about the food.
We did.
And we talked about the entertainment.
And the drinks. I
don't think there's any characters. No characters show up. Do they?
No. Oh. Although they do have some cool merchandise in one of the shops where, Mickey Mouse in Italy is Topolino.
Topolino.
Topolino. So there's a lot of stuff that says Topolino.
That's cool. So we did hit the drinks in Italy, which is good.
Yeah, we did. We hit the drinks. Yep.
All right.
I think we did.
Here we go. Number 1. Are you ready for number 1? That's the only one left.
Numero uno, and it fits.
It's the Mexico Pavilion, located near the entrance and the Norwegian Pavilion. In between the entrance and the Norwegian Pavilion, this
awesome.
First of all,
the Aztec pyramid.
How could you not enjoy looking at that Aztec pyramid? Fantastic. Yep. Awesome. Another semi-sprawling pavilion, which is great. It's on both sides of the street now. That was a relatively recent addition. Another one of the pavilions where you walk in to walk outside. One of the
I love it. I mean, it's just awesome. You walk in the pyramid part of the, like you say, it's sprawling now. But if you walk inside the pyramid, in the very front, there's like a little archaeological exhibit usually there.
And I love the new art exhibit.
Yeah,
with the I forget what those little things are called. There's darn it, I should have researched this, but the little Mexican art where they what do you call it? Darn, I'm totally losing it. It's a little Mexican art where animals and people, they have Day of the Dead stuff,
Oh, okay,
all
yeah,
painted
yeah,
really, really brightly. It's carved. It's all
yeah,
carved
yeah,
wood.
yeah, yeah,
Everything's painted really, really brightly. If you've seen Coco, which you
yeah.
should have seen if you're a Disney fan,
If you didn't see Coco, see Coco because
see
Coco's
Coco.
awesome.
It's
Love
great.
Coco. Yeah,
The spirit animals. This
yeah,
is what they remind me of. The
yeah,
really vibrant colors and stuff. The
right.
art is fantastic. Yeah, it's
Yep,
really cool. Yep.
yeah. That's
So
what's in.
after you
Okay.
walk past that part,
Yeah, you walk outside. You're inside, and then you walk back outside, and it's like a bustling kind of Mexican marketplace.
yeah,
At night, of course, it's nighttime because you're kind of like outside. Off in the distance, you see the river, and then beyond the river, there's a volcano, um, with smoke kind of pluming out of it.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
just an awesome,
The setting is
awesome
awesome.
setting, awesome setting. Really
Totally sold.
super
Totally
well done.
transported.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By far the best inside atmosphere of any World Showcase pavilion. I mean, not even close.
Totally agree. Not even close. Yep. Yep. So as you're walking around the market, there's the Saint Angel Inn there that all open.
Yep.
Like you said, it was kind of like the Blue Bayou in
Yeah, right.
in California.
This is like the I think this is Disney World's version of the Blue Bayou where
Yeah.
you can sit and eat by the river and watch the boat ride go by you. So
Food is excellent. If you like Mexican food, it's a
really good.
really, really good.
Really good. Yeah. Yep.
And the sister restaurant to this is in Mexico City, so it better be pulling off
right, exactly.
pretty darn well. Yeah.
It's a big restaurant, so you're probably not going to be able to if you come late, or you probably not going to sit down by the water unless you really want to.
Get lucky.
Right, you get lucky, but you can sometimes score a seat at the last minute. So if you don't have a reservation, and don't give up, walk up to the podium. They're very nice and very accommodating. They'll try and find a place for you to sit. So it is, like I said, it's a big restaurant, and many times, I've gone in there and I'm like, oh, you know what, I want to eat, because you walk in and you right away are like, it's like, and we've been able to get seats. So so.
Yeah, it's really good. And plus, if you're waiting, even if it's like a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever, for a table to be ready, you are definitely entertained walking.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. All these little places you can go in and out of. Not just the open air stuff, but the actual shops that you can walk into.
Little shops,
really cool
they're all cool. There's this little place called La Cava de Tequila. You can walk in there. You can walk in there.
I've walked in there many a time, as a matter of fact. This is a fantastic tequila bar.
Yeah.
If you like tequila, it is a place you have to go.
Oh, yeah.
Do the flight of tequila, as a matter of fact. You got to do the premium flight of tequila. It costs a little bit more. It's pretty expensive, actually, but I think it's, in my opinion, because I almost have it every time I go, I think it's worth it.
Gary likes a premium flight of tequila. First, I will tell you that one of my favorite drinks in all of Disney comes from this bar, and it's the jalapeno margarita that they make. And it's just like I think a lot of people have a jalapeno margarita now, but this one is the best one you're gonna have. It's just really, really good, and so I love it. And seating, it's hard to score a seat inside La Cava de Tequila. There's not many. There's more small at the bar than there is seating out away from the bar. There's only a few little tables, and there's always a line going in to get a drink or a tequila flight, and to go. You can get it to go.
Yep. It's a great little Mexican appetizers, which are good. Chips and salt, the homemade salsa. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Love it. And these guys know tequila. Like, they're not just making it. These guys really
just about any tequila you want, it's there. right behind them. So yeah, and they know what they're doing.
And they know what they're doing. Yeah, you tell them what what flavors you want, what flavors you like. If you're unsure, they will hook you up with a margarita. I almost said, but with tequila, you're gonna enjoy. Yeah. So we hit the San Angel Inn, the Cava de Tequila, the shops, which are, I love Mexican art. I think it's very colorful.
I love the merchandise there. I think it's great. I really do. I love just walking around, checking it out. I've bought some stuff there, and I'm sure I'll buy some more one time.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
In the future.
Yeah. So they even have across the street restaurant, La Hacienda de la Angel. I put a little Canadian spin on that. Angel, which is good. Table service restaurant. Yep, good. I actually had the flight of tacos, I think, there, which was really, really good.
Is it quick service at lunch and then table service in the evening? Is that how that restaurant is, or?
That is the cantina.
That's the cantina. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of places.
There's quite a few now. Yeah. Yep.
And every single one of them, you can get good margaritas.
Every single and they also now have the little not little, it's a big margarita kiosk. So if you're looking at the pyramid, it's on your left hand side. It'll be directly on your left, and there's always a big line there. And they don't have all the margaritas that are inside La Cava de Tequila, but they have quite a few. So
at one point, they may or may not have this anymore, because it's one of those ones that was a hit or miss. What are the little signs that they put out? It was a watermelon margarita made with watermelon water. It was awesome. Wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Yeah. Yep. Very, very good. Yeah. So as you can tell, this hits all. Yeah. This so far hits all the marks.
Yeah, we're gonna say just to illustrate how serious they are about their margarita. I mean, they have all these different types of salt to go on the rim too, and one of them is even like black ant salt. Which I have never had. I don't really want black ant salt, but yeah, black ant salt is one of them.
I feel like I want that now.
But they have all different types of salt for the rims, and this is serious business.
This is typically the reason that it's the first place we hit.
Right.
We always go to the left on this, because
veer to the left every single time.
Yep. We typically sneak over from the Odyssey, which is which we'll talk about it probably at another podcast, but that kind of dumps you out right next to Mexico. So we just kind of take a quick turn, and there we are, Mexico, soon to have a margarita in hand.
Yep. Yeah. Now, especially now, the Odyssey has the EPCOT preview center thing. So it's kind of cool. The preview film and and a little bit of merchandise for the new EPCOT. That's hopefully still coming. Yeah, I hope it's still coming. When they talk about scaling things back, I get scared, because I'm like, well, you knock down 3/4 of the buildings in the front of the park. You got to put something there.
You better put something back. Yeah.
Would have been better to just leave the things the way they were if you were going to put nothing. But anyway.
So let's see, entertainment. The mariachi band that's outside occasionally.
Mariachi Cobra. Yeah, fantastic.
Oh, they're awesome.
They are awesome. Really awesome.
Yeah. If you like that,
they even have a little show with. They have a little show with Coco too, right? Didn't they have a little show with Miguel from Coco?
Right. I don't know if it's still there though. It was the puppet.
The
marionette type puppet attached to the person, kind of, and he was actually making him play guitar. Probably. I'll see if I can find the YouTube video of this and maybe put it onto bar so people can see it. But that was
awesome.
Mind blowing how amazing the person was with that puppet. Yeah.
I think it came back, but it might be gone again. When things when EPCOT's not open yet, but it will be open in a couple days. Yeah. So But yeah, it came back. It was gone and then came back. But I think it was only for a limited time. Maybe when things were really busy and they needed the extra entertainment around Epcot.
Right.
So
So, attraction.
yeah,
The three cowboy.
the three Caballeros.
We talked
We
about
touched
this.
on it in another podcast.
Yeah, it's another podcast.
Yep.
I still like El Rio de Tiempo, El Rio de Tiempo. Was always one of my I don't know
Love it.
one of my must dos at Epcot. You know.
It was kind of it was kind of a mashup between if you had wings, which was one of
Which
our most missed, and a small world kind of with the doll sections. It was kind of a mashup of the two. So but yeah, I really liked El Rio de Tiempo. But still do Donald, not Donald.
Yeah,
but not just Donald, the three Caballeros. Where's
word
Donald?
is though that's changing to Coco ride, but I'm not sure if
I would love
that's
to see a Coco ride. I really would. I think
that would be great. Like they could do a lot with that. I think it would be a really
yeah.
great addition. Yeah.
It would be a fantastic.
Hopefully that's happening.
I hope so. Keep fingers crossed, everybody.
Yeah.
Not that we don't like the three Caballeros, but like I said, anytime Disney can update something, and especially with Coco, I think Coco belongs in the Mexican Pavilion. It really
Absolutely.
does.
Fantastic movie, and it'd be perfect. Hopefully they get rid of all the little screens and they make a little bit more actual physical things. But it'd be really cool. Yep. So that's the attraction there. The I believe, and I took note of this, but I don't remember if this is still happening. But the characters are typically Donald and I believe Chip and Dale, but I don't know if Chip and Dale are still there.
I haven't seen Chip and Dale. Donald is always there to the right, to the right of the pyramid, and he always draws a crowd.
Always.
He's
dressed
Donald.
in
He's Donald. Right. He's got his three Caballeros outfit on, sombrero and
his scarf. Yeah.
Yep. So
yeah.
Really
pretty cool.
Yep.
So that's our number one, Joe. Do you have anything to add to that? I mean, it's just you can't miss the Mexico Pavilion if you're going to Epcot. If you like tequila, you can't miss the Cava del Tequila. Fantastic place for a drink.
If you get really lucky, maybe you'll see somebody who drinks a little bit too much tequila and then decides to climb the pyramid, because that's happened before too.
Has happened. Yeah.
Has happened.
It's amazing.
I've never witnessed it in person, but occasionally somebody tries to do that. But just architecturally, probably the most spectacular of all the pavilions, and inside just really awesome. Just
really a sight to behold.
Well done. I could honestly, it gets very crowded now. Back in the day, it was, of course, all of Disney World was a little bit less crowded. But I mean, I could honestly, if they had benches in there, I could sit there for hours and just drink in the atmosphere and a margarita.
The atmosphere, which I like to call my margaritas atmosphere. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is there still a margarita bar across the street to the almost to the next pavilion? It was that little frozen margarita bar.
I don't remember that. I think that one's gone. I don't know.
Nope.
I think that one. I think it's gone.
Choza Del Mar. Up.
Yeah,
it opened.
We replaced it. Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows?
I think that replaced it. I think when they opened up the Choza de Margarita, they replaced that little margarita bar that was there.
I was gonna say, because that was a great one.
It was almost to the Norway Pavilion, and
exactly.
It's kind of I think that's kind of where the Norway, the little Norwegian craft beer place is. So maybe they kind of took that away and put the craft beer place in.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So that's it. That's number one, Mexico.
We could be
Um,
wrong. Oh, I don't know. Like,
yeah, yeah,
I never got margaritas there because I'm not big on frozen margaritas. So maybe it's still there. So who knows?
yeah. I don't really like frozen margaritas, but people love frozen margaritas,
They
and
do.
they used to make that 3-layer one, that Mexican
Yep.
flag one, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yep.
yeah. All right, so quick run
Yes.
through from 11 to our number one.
Okay.
Um, quick rehash without much talking about it, just so
We think we
because
talked enough about it.
so our 11 was France.
Yep.
Totally missed the boat with France. I think not totally missed the boat. Just think that they could do so much more with France. Number 10 was Norway.
Yep.
Partially because of the same reason, but partially because not a whole heck of a lot there.
Right.
Number 9 was China. Food,
Yeah. It
except
was a
the
math.
entertainment great. Drinks, nah, not
Drinks
so
and
much.
food. Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of missed the boat on that one. They could have done more, I think.
yeah, they could have had
Yep,
like
yep.
actual.
Americanized Chinese food is not what you
Yeah,
want to.
anyway.
Yeah, not authentic. So
Japan, number 8. A lot of changes happened in Japan. A lot of stuff they took out. A lot of stuff we miss.
yeah,
The
yeah.
candy making, the
The
drums,
commerce, right?
yeah, the food there, awesome,
Very
absolutely
good.
awesome.
Good
The
food.
entertainment, like we said, they
Yeah.
got basically almost all taken out.
Yeah,
Including
got taken away. So
my entertainment, the sake bar.
yeah, right. Yeah, but the
What the heck?
number one reason Japan is down to number 8 is
That's right.
sake bar. Where is the
bar's gone.
sake bar? Bring back the sake bar.
Number 7, Morocco.
Yeah.
The theming, unbelievable,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Explore. If you've never walked all the way back in Morocco, walk all the way back, and you'll see a whole pavilion you never knew was there. It's
Absolutely
fantastic. Yep.
And don't be afraid of the food. The
Oh
food,
no, great
is
food.
it's awesome. The food is great. Entertainment, very entertaining.
Yeah.
Entertainment. Apparently not for Joe's wife, but
To each his own, right?
yeah.
Her own.
Number 6, the American Adventure.
Yes.
Entertainment, awesome. Food
Yep.
and drink, awesome. Tons and tons of craft beer. Can't go wrong with the barbecue. Can't go wrong with grabbing a craft beer.
Right.
Take it easy though. Craft beers, a lot of craft beers have a lot of
high
a lot of
ABV.
alcohol. Yeah. So take it easy if you're drinking around the world. Don't do what I do.
No, don't go for the. Yeah, you know what? You want a 12 or a 20 ounce? I'll have the 20 ounce, and yeah, give me the give me that bourbon barrel ale that's 9% alcohol.
Number 5, Canada, because hey, Canada's awesome. That's all I'm saying.
Canada's awesome. Great way north. Take off.
Hey, we didn't talk about the beaver claws or beaver. Was it beaver claws? Beaver claws.
Yeah, similar. Very similar to those funnel cakes, right?
The funnel cakes. Yeah. Yeah. This is just like a big, heavy donut in glaze.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But Canada, awesome. Great food. Great beer if you pick correctly. I mean, Molson, Labatt's Blue, all right, but Fin du Monde from Unibrew, awesome.
Yeah, that's the
and
one.
the popcorn there. You can buy popcorn with your Fin du Monde.
Absolutely. That's almost always what I do. Exactly that.
Right. Entertainment and attraction, the Canada Far and Wide, awesome.
Very good. Good movie. Very good. Yep.
The architecture, it drops you right basically in the middle of old Quebec or old Montreal. The canyons, the waterfalls, it just makes you really feel like you found something at Epcot.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, it takes you there, transports you there. It really does. Yep, fantastic.
Number 4, UK.
Yep. Rose and Crown.
Yep.
Rose and Crown.
Great
Rose
place
and
to have.
Crown.
Yeah. Great drink. Great place
bring
to
back the British Revolution or the British Invasion.
Yes, please.
Please.
Yeah. Great shopping at UK, reasonable prices for Epcot. Great setting, sprawling, excellent food with the fish and chips with the food at the Rose and Crown. Don't be afraid of it. Get some beers on the outside kiosk as well, and you don't just have to sit there. But the Hat Lady is there. Hopefully, she's playing when you decide to hop into the Rose and Crown.
If you're lucky, you will see her. Or hear her.
Stop. Say hi to Mary Poppins, who is basically one of the best characters, in my opinion, around Epcot. Number 3, Germany. Germany for its setting, really good architecture, really great setting, really great food if you like German food. The German buffet is fantastic, and one of those walk inside to walk outside. And you can get a liter of Spaten. That's number 3 right there.
Liter of Spaten, beer garden, inside, outside, right?
Oktoberfest.
Oompa Band, Oktoberfest. I mean, do you need anything else? Come on.
Yeah, you do. You need a gigantic pretzel that costs $10. But
$10. $10, but hey, it's worth it. Get the $10. Spend $10 for the pretzel. It's a great pretzel.
It absolutely.
Share it with your friends.
$3.33 a piece.
A piece. Right. Somebody's got to kick in the extra penny.
Number 2, Italy. Architecture is just drops you into Italy. I love the way they mixed all the architecture of Venice, Florence, Rome all together. Looks great.
It really does.
You're transported there, just like the other places we were talking about. Excellent food and drink. Off the hook food and drink. Best pizza that either of us, I think, have ever had. Fantastic pizza. What else? Entertainment. Whistle guy.
Whistle guy.
Watch him.
All right. Watch.
Man, he's gonna drive you a little crazy.
Atmosphere. Great atmosphere. Just a great atmosphere.
You
go there, hang out with my paisans, and enjoy. Grab a wine and hang out with my paisans.
Sit in the plaza, sit in the plaza and hang out. Grab a wine and just enjoy it. And grab a Negroni at the bar.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? And hey, number 1, Mexico. Basically took everything that we just said. The food is awesome. The drink, awesome margaritas, awesome tequilas. We didn't even talk about the beers, but if you like Coronas, Modelo, Negro Modelo, Dos Equis, they're pretty much beers you can get in a lot of places, but still a good beer to have. Like I almost always get.
I actually like them all. I like all those beers.
Yeah, totally drinkable in the the hot Florida sun. Nice cerveza, a nice Corona.
Nice cerveza, Modelo. Love it.
Mexico has an attraction, the 3 Caballeros, and the character meet and greet with Donald, who looks great, dressed in Mexican garb, and the entertainment, the mariachi
Cobra.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Really, really great.
And I think I already said the food was great, but I'll say it again. The food on both sides of the street are awesome. You can't go wrong. Very, very good.
Even the quick service has really good food.
Yep. So that's it, Joe. We did our. This is a long podcast, so hopefully we had a lot to talk about, so we should close it up.
Gary, I think the sun's coming up.
Yeah, seriously. That was our top 11. Top 5, 11.
What was our top 11? Our combined top 11. And we'll close our podcast like we do every week. We'll say in the immortal words of Warren Zevon, remember everyone to enjoy every sandwich.
So you're saying
well
that
said,
you think
Warren.
maybe
well said, Joe.
From your perspective now, do you know something
Gary,
about
take care.
life
Have a
and
great
death
night.
that maybe I don't
Take care, too. You too.
Right.
Bye.
Not unless I know how much you're supposed to enjoy every sandwich. You know.